swimmers, 332, 3, 6, and 7 for dive start. Welcome, spectators, band members, officials. Thank you for coming to the first night of the Senior State Championship. Warm-ups are just about over. The competition pool is now closed. We're getting ready to begin. So again, big thank you to our volunteers. None of this is possible without you. And as always, for our final session, we're going to start off with the national anthem. Tonight, we are lucky enough to have Roger Hale, and he will be singing the national anthem. So if you are able, please stand, face the flag on the east side of the wall, or remove that cover, and let's come back. And thank you for your attention. Over to you, Mr. Official.
Everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy because they don't see the mic that's on here that I'm talking online. Not that anyone's tuned in, but if you are, hopefully I'll have something good to say for you. Swimmers are jumping around, banging out their nerves on their muscles. Hey, Sue, I'm on time, man. I'm early. If you're not early, you know. That's right. So I guess we're a little early, but it looks like all the swimmers are ready to go. So everyone's looking at me like I messed up, but you know, better to be early than late. In the water, heat 1, the D final. In lane 1, Alexandra Lund. Lane 2, Darcy Smith. Lane 3, Millie Neidig. Lane 4, Iobian Bradley. Lane 5, Maggie Harris. Lane 6, Aspen Johnson. Lane 7, McKenna Garlick. And in lane 8, Sophie Rona. So they're starting out, usually the first 50, they'll take it out in about 30 seconds. Everyone's pretty dead even. Sophie Rona in lane 8 is actually recovering from a bicep and pectoral injury that she's been nursing for about 6 months and has been nothing but kicking in the water.
Doing a great job.
But she's taking it out pretty fast and looks like she's in the lead. Looks like it's lane 3 and lane 8 leading the way into the first turn, setting a strong pace for the 100. Usually you get a nice wedge shape in the water with lanes 4 and 5 in the lead and lanes 1 and 8 in the tail, but Sophie Rona at the 106.45 is leading the way. Well, I take that back. Lane 3 was ahead by just 2/100ths of a second. 35s, 36s are the splits. The girls are looking strong. Up next is Heat 2, the C final. Crowd isn't quite warmed up yet, but they'll get into it when the A final comes around. They'll come around. All right, so we're just coming into the last 15 meters. Lane 3, Neidig, has a slight edge, but lane 7's giving her a run for the money. Garlick from Hast. Sophie's in a solid third. So it looks like Neidig touches first with 2:18.07, then Garlick and Smith. In the water is the C final. In lane 1, Libby Harris. Lane 2, Mia Smith. Lane 3, Aniston Kennard. Lane 4, Santee Hunt. Lane 5, Haley Bott. Lane 6, Lola Watson. Lane 7, Eliza Bexfield. And in lane 8, Sarah Favreau. All right. So in Heat 2, usually about a second faster out of the gate. And that's about right. 30 to 32 on the wall. And Santee is in the lead in this Hunt from Wasatch Front Fish Market with a 30.77. And we have a little bit of outside heat in lane 1. Libby Harris from Surf. And again in lane 8. That's the interesting thing about the evenings. If somebody comes out and doesn't think they had a good swim in the morning, they might set a pace in the evening to make up for that mentally. And sometimes it just works out. Lane 4, after the first turn, Santee Hunt is hanging on to the lead by a solid second. Looking strong as she comes down the halfway point on the third leg. For a second there, do a little cheering myself, which is always fun, even though my daughter might not like it. All right, coming down the halfway point of the fourth leg, the women's 200 freestyle C final. Lane 4 is in the lead. Coaches are getting into it now, which is fantastic. Looks like Santee Hunt is gonna hang on, but lane 1, Miss Harris from Surf, is making a charge. Tight race. And let's see how it shapes up. On the touch, it is Santee Hunt from Fish Market in first place. Harrison second, and Becksfield in third. Oh, the young gun got third place in that one. That's fantastic. And in this next heat, we definitely have some young swimmers, which is great to see in seniors. In the water, heat 3, the D final. Lane 1, Ellie Sinte. Lane 2, Berkeley Hansen. Lane 3, Cameron Tanton. Lane 4, Astrid Parsons. Lane 5, Ksenia Keller. Lane 6, Alia Leolane. Lane 7, Addie Venner. Lane 8, Ellie DuPont. So coming in to the seniors, there are some 13-year-olds on the list. Ellie DuPont is one of them, a rising star from OA. And Addie, her teammate, is 14. They are looking strong in the water. But coming into the first turn, it is definitely lane 2. Berkeley Hansen with something to prove tonight in the lead. So Berkeley Hansen makes a turn at 103, with Venner close on her tail and Tanton at 105. They're trying to make a run for it. Third leg's always the hardest in a 200. The 200 free is basically a sprint at this level. The third leg, your legs are going to be numb and your lungs should feel like they're on fire because you're running out of oxygen. It's a VO2 max effort. Trying to hold something for 2 minutes, which is pretty close to a half mile or mile pace if you're a runner. All right, coming into the last leg, it looks like Venner and Tanton are locked neck and neck. And if you remember from last year at State, Venner and Tanton had some battles in the IM races, and it looks like Venner paced it well, and she's pulling out for the lead. Which makes me kind of happy because she happens to be my daughter. Coming into the wall, Venner touches first with 2:11.84. Strong last leg, 32.50. Tanton in second with 2:14.37, and Hansen in third with 2:15.71. Swimmers, please clear the water. Great race. Up next is the championship heat for the ladies 200 freestyle. In lane 1, Rory Sorensen. In lane 2, Coco Riding. In lane 3, Shayla Zolcic. In lane 5, Ella Fuller. In lane 6, Rainey Moran. In lane 7, Hannah Quinn. And in lane 8, Ava Glissmeyer. And your top qualifier tonight with a time of 2:10.71, Chesney Bonner. Referee, the pool's yours. All right, so they hit the water, looked neck and neck. Everyone had a good start. No hands up in the air by the officials, which is always a good sign. The state record for the 200 freestyle 15:16 is Rachel Butler, set in 2017 with a 2:05.89. 17:18 state record is 2:04.97, set in 2019 by Audrey McDonald, which is the overall state record for senior women. That is a very good time. Most of these girls are going to want to get under 2:10. For those of you that are aware, which you're a swim fan of an age group, or you probably are, there are the motivational time standards, even for seniors as well. So for a long course 200 free, a lot of these girls are shooting to get around the 2:07 mark. That's their next big national cut for a futures meet. In the first turn, after the first 100, Chesney set a good pace, 1:02.32. Nobody else below 103. Fuller and Zolcic are the closest, 103.89 and 103.22. So looks like a good race coming into the third turn. Bonner at the third turn, 135.46. Zolcic right on her tail, 136.44. And then Fuller right on Zolcic's tail, 137.94. It always helps when you have somebody pushing you in the water. Chesney is breathing to her right, so she can see Bonner. Bonner can see Zolcic in the water every stroke, and she's not giving her an inch. Coming in, they're about to hit the flags. Bonner's going to touch. She sets the best time from this morning, 2:08.29. Zolcic close on her tail with 2:09.70, and then Fuller in third place at 2:10.83. Wonderful race. In the water now is the D final for the men's 200 freestyle. In lane 1, Arlo Peters. In lane 2, Dax Crowley. Lane 3, Owen Van Skyver. Lane 4, Cash Caballero Scott. Lane 5, Ashen Topham. Lane 6, Knight Palmer. Lane 7, Bridger Polson. And in lane 8, Josh DeGroot. So it is interesting how the men and the women times stack up, and usually it falls like it is tonight. The men tend to pick up in the D final where the women left off on the A final. So their best times this morning were between 2:08 and 2:10, which is where the women ended up in the A final. And again, I don't know what it is with lane 2 this evening, but lane 2 is hot. Mr. Crowley from Sousa looks like he's going to take the turn first, setting a solid pace right at 1 minute. And Topham right there too, 1:26. Oh man, we have a race. Lane 2 and 5. Better than this one. And that's always the debate, is how swimmers are going to feel after the races. Parents usually hesitate to ask. They just want a happy child at the end of the race. But it looks like in this race, lane 5 and lane 2 are going to be happy with their results. They're just coming by my station. I cannot tell who has the lead. Lane 2 and lane 5 are neck and neck coming in the turn. Looks like it's going to come down to the touch with lane 4 closing in on lane 5. Crowley does touch first with a 2:06.49. Topham second with a 2:06.98. What a tight race. Yeah, let's... No. I got to be right here. In the water, the C final for the men, 200 freestyle. In lane 1, Quinton McCoy. Lane 2, Samuel Rogers. Lane 3, Henry Long. Lane 4, Josh Hawkins. Lane 5, Artyom Novikov. Lane 6, Xander George. Lane 7, Ryan Horn. And in lane 8, Everett Gassman. So this morning, Josh Hawkins in lane 4 swam a 2:05.19. Artyom in lane 6 swam a 2:05.46. They all made the turn under 30 seconds, minus lane 1, which was right at 30 seconds. So a little faster than the first 2 heats, which you'd expect. Lane 7 and 5 are in the lead, with lane 8 close behind. Another tight race. Oh, there we go. We have our first 100 under 1 minute, with Novikov making the turn at 59.75. guarantee you these men have burning lungs and numb legs. They are looking to push the rest. Push their limits. And let's see, coming down about the halfway point of the last leg, looks like lane 5, Novacow, is opening up a slight lead, about a body length off of lane 7. And then lane 6 is tucking in behind lane 7, getting a good draft off both lane 5 and he's making a run for it. Looks like he's going to touch second. Yep, so it is Novacow touching first. In the water, the B final. Lane 1, Oakley James. Lane 2, Sam Peterson. Lane 3, Marcus Caliendo. Lane 4, Donnie Lowe. Lane 5, Brody Schvanevelt. Lane 6, Emmett Hatchard. Lane 7, Justin Tao. And in lane 8, Andrew Mitten. So they are looking tight here coming into the first leg. We have a more traditional form with lane 4 right towards the front with lane 3, 4, 5. Very tight race. Lane 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all making the turn just under a minute. And the other 4 lanes are right at a minute. So this is a tight heat. The next heat of men are behind the blocks, shaking it out, looking a little nervous, but excited for the race. It's important to look at those nerves like a superpower. Mr. Hatchard is starting to develop a little bit of a gallop. It's looking good. And he made the turn, leading the group in lane 6. He is turning on the jets. So it is Emmett Hatchard in lane 6 that's definitely going to win this heat without a doubt at the halfway point in the third leg. He is opening up a solid body length lead from the field. He played this one really well. So he does touch with 2 minutes flat, which is a 2-second drop from this morning. Great swim, men. Please go to the pool. Up next, our championship heat for the men's 200-meter freestyle. In lane 1, Brigham Stetcher. In lane 2, Thomas Chamberlain. In lane 3, Andrew Gray. In lane 5, Sean Cannon. In lane 6, Will Neville. In lane 7, Benson Mortensen. In lane 8, Jet Hatchard. And in lane 4, with the fastest qualifying time, Oscar Astle. Mr. Official, over to you. So this is a fascinating heat. You have anywhere from a 20-year-old in lane 6 that is in college to a 13-year-old in lane 8. It is a testament to how variable swimming development can be and how exciting it truly is, because nobody ever knows where the ceiling of development will lie for these young swimmers. So they are all coming in very fast. First turn is made and they are all at 27. What a great, with Chamberlain in lane 2, 26.69. Wow, the field is wide open here. 7 of the swimmers are within 2 100ths of a second of each other. It does look like lane 6, Neville, who is swimming out of Florida here for the summer, is going to make the turn at the first 100 with 56.43 in the lead. 56.88, Chamberlain's hanging on to his tail on the other side of the pool, with the young gun, Jet Hatchard, with 58.63. The state record for this for 15-16 is 154.51. 17-18, 152.08. And the overall state record, set in 2025 by Nick Chirafisi, is 150.04. I honestly don't know what the 13-year-old record is. They all make the turn, 128, 127. Neville has a slight lead at 126.72 after the third turn. Tight race, they are sprinting it out. Oscar Aspel in lane 4 is giving him a run for his money. He knows a little bit about swimming. His older brother went off to BYU to swim, and at the final, the touch is Neville at 1, Aspel in 2, 156.72, 156.27. Number 3, Cannon. Rounding out the swim, everyone's under 2 minutes, 2 at 2 minutes flat. What a fantastic swim. Spectators, the next event will start from the opposite side of the pool, the women's 50-meter butterfly. Man, you can clear the pool. This is fun. What? I didn't know.
When does that equal?
It'll be the second to last. It'll be towards the end. You've got some time if you need to use the restroom or do anything right now. Oh, and I'm online talking to everybody, so my mom's asking when my daughter swims next. Well, I got some normal thing. Everyone does it at swim meet. So up next is the 50 fly. They're getting things set for the officials on the other side of the pool. Heat D is taking the blocks. In the water, your D final for your women 50-meter butterfly. Lane 1, Eva Moeller. Lane 2, Maggie Harris. Lane 3, McKenna Panoese. Lane 4, Victoria LaRoche. Lane 5, Colette Hall. Lane 6, Eve Reichner. Lane 7, Autumn Kendall. Lane 8, Lila Mortensen. So just coming in the 15-meter mark, pretty tight race again. They're testing my ability to get all their names out before they get to the end of the pool. I cannot tell who's going to win this race. Lane 3, Panoese. If I am saying that wrong, I probably am, with a 31.78. A tenth ahead of lane 6.
Will you read the results when you have a chance?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I am sorry, yes. Do they want me to? The C final is in the water. Lane 1, Sarah Favreau. Lane 2, Simone Caliendo. Lane 3, Libby Harris. Lane 4, Paulina Eggers. Lane 5, Berkeley Hansen. Lane 6, Eliza Bexfield. Lane 7, Cadence Laws. Lane 8, Stella Burnett. We have the results for the women 200 freestyle. In 8th place, Coco Riding. 7th place, Rainey Moran. 6th place, Hannah Quinn. 5th place, Ava Glissmeyer. 4th place, Rory Sorensen. 3rd place, Ella Fuller. 2nd place, Shayla Zolcic. And your 1st place, Chesney Bonner with a time of 2:08.29. In the water, the C final for the women 50-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Actually, this is the B final. In lane 1, Afton Jones. Lane 2, Fei Hong. Lane 3, Rory Sorensen. 4, Mia Smith. 5, Ali Hanoise. 6, June Johnson. 7, Ella Fuller. And 8, Greta Doretta. Reading this through my rhythm off the list. I forgot to mark it off. Ladies, you can clear the pool. Up next is the championship heat for the women 50-meter butterfly. In lane 1. Thank you. In lane 1, Cameron Tanton. In lane 2, Taylor Hooten. In lane 3, Marta Valskovka. In lane 5, Vienna Lemon. In lane 6, Jane Beardall. In lane 7, Tavia Stemmons. In lane 8, Shayla Zolcic. And your top qualifier with a time of 29.10 in lane 4, Alyssa Soderquist. Over to you, Mr. Official. I kind of jumped the gun there. The official gave me a triple whistle to tell me to be quiet. I was a little early. Excited to get this race underway. So this should be a tight race. The state record for 15-16 is 28.09, and then 27.63 for 70-18, and then 27.63 for overall, all by Jade Garston. Coming to the halfway point, looks like lane 4 has a slight lead. About a half a body length over the field. It'd be surprising if anybody caught her. Coming into the flags. And indeed, Soderquist touches the wall first out of lane 4 with a 28.57. That is over a half second faster than this morning. She should be happy with that. We'll stay on the same side of the pool for the men's 50-meter butterfly. I already announced it. Yeah. So we'll stay on the same side of the pool for the men 50 butterfly. Up next is the D final for the men 50-meter butterfly. Sorry, I didn't know if they were waiting on me or not. In the water, in lane 1, Alexander Spainhauer. Lane 2, Tyson Lewis. Lane 3, Avery Jones. Lane 4, William Talbot. Lane 5, Everett Bushman. Lane 6, Noah Christensen. Lane 7, Jonathan Liu. Lane 8, Ben Wilkinson. These guys are already under the flags at 23 seconds. Touching the wall, lane 2, it's some outside heat at 27:34. Everyone at 27 something. Great race. These are just so tight. In the water, the C final. In lane 1, Franco St. Jour. Lane 2, Sam Peterson. Lane 3, Arlo Peters. Lane 4, Connor Clark. Lane 5, Donnie Lowe. Lane 6, Benny Bridge. Lane 7, Henry Long. And lane 8, Eddie Hansen. State record for this for 15-16 is 26:19. 17-18 record 25:10. And the overall record for the seniors is 23.85 by Max Kleinman. You really have to feel like you're flying through the water. The B final in the water, Jake Ikimiashuro. Lane 2, Sawyer Mortensen. Lane 3, Angel Nunez-Lanza. Lane 4, Bowden Polovich. Lane 5, Brigham Stetcher. Lane 6, Oliver Northway. Lane 7, Alex Scott. And lane 8, Max Giddings. That is some fast racing. Fantastic job, men. You may clear the pool. Up next, we have our championship final for the men 50-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Bridger Smith. In lane 2, Beck Johnson. In lane 3, Thomas Chamberlain. In lane 5, Tanner Edwards. In lane 6, Sean Cannon. In lane 7, Chaz Keddington. In lane 8, Ethan Brown. And your top qualifier with a time of 25.49, Gabe Jones. So again, this is a fantastic heat we have here. We have anyone from college swimmers with the BYU UTAGS to a 15-year-old Chaz Keddington in lane 7, all racing each other in the same pool. Should be a tight race. They were all at 25 and 26 this morning. Of course, you never know who was holding back just a little bit, and today it looks like it might be the Kruger that was holding back just a little bit, and that makes sense. He's a college swimmer. He knows his body and his abilities. Looks like he is going to edge out the field. And yeah, it is Edwards with a 25.31. That is a half-second improvement from this morning. Gabe shaving a little bit, 3/100ths of a second. Fantastic swim, men. Men, you may clear the pool. Up next, starting from the opposite end of the pool, we have the women 200-meter breaststroke. Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm having fun. Oh, I am live online, so, but I'm still having fun.
I won't say anything risky.
So 200-meter breaststroke starting in the water, heat 1. This is your D final for the women 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Sophia Zhang. In lane 2, Lexi Bassett. In lane 3, Beatrice Stoles. Lane 4, Jessica Schwartz. Lane 5, Alexa Hurtado. Lane 6, Avery Dyer. Lane 7, Briley Jensen. And in lane 8, Sydney Barr. Or Barr, probably, B-A-H-R. So they're just about to make the first turn, 40 seconds. Lane 1, lane 2 have a slight lead, but again, this race is all about pacing. These 200s are brutal. And anybody that knows anything about breaststroke is it is easy to swim it slow, it is hard to swim it fast. So all these swimmers are looking to pull, shoot, kick, and get their timing just right. A little bit of whale motion in the water, get their pike, look like a pencil underwater, have a nice glide, and hopefully pick it up on that third leg to stomp the will out of the competition. So far on the first turn, it looks like lane 6 is slightly ahead, 1:27.10. But lane 4 actually had the fastest leg that time. She comes around at 1:27.98. Still pretty much anyone's race. And to the point now where I'm going to go hunt for a glass of water. I know a guy in a blue vest that I think can get me one.
I mean, we were married.
I don't know where the water, I'll make sure. Melissa will get some. All right, so coming into the final turn, looks like lane 6 made a move there. She is slightly ahead, but it's still, there's a race between lane 5, 6, 1, and 4, and 2. It's anyone's race is what I'm saying. But I got to tell you, lane 6 is looking strong. Nice glide. I don't think she's going to give that lead up willingly. One of the cutest things with this race is when the younger swimmers look over to see where everyone else is in the pool, but you do not see that with these women. They are focused. All right, so it is lane 6 that touches first. Dyer from Hast, and then followed by Schwartz in lane 4 and Hurtado in lane 5. All coming in within about a second of each other around the 3-minute mark, with Dyer breaking 3 minutes at 2:59.78. Up next is the C final. Could you just do, I mean, because we're not supposed to have anybody, yeah, I know. Or just come right next to me, Yeah, it's just another rope. All right. I always have a bunch of people around here looking to get pictures of their kids, which is totally cool. Just need to do it from the right spots. All right, so we have the results from the women's 50-meter butterfly. I'll read those out shortly. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm getting a reminder here. I did not read the results for the men 200-yard freestyle. Looks like there's a break in the pool. I'm not sure what's going on. The officials are talking to each other. But while they are, the women behind the blocks. Looks like somebody did not show up in lane 8, and the alternate is making their way over, which is always exciting. The alternate in this case is Vida Mordecai. She was ready to go and did her job. What a fantastic result. You usually get a nice adrenaline boost for that. We wish her the best of luck in this. All right, the officials are just documenting that. Thank you for your patience. We had an alternate swimmer able to swim. They're just documenting the paperwork. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. In the water, the C final for the women 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Jessica Hulse. Lane 2, Simone Caliendo. Lane 3, Caitlin Graham. Lane 4, Simone Turcotti. Lane 5, Paulina Eggers. Lane 6, Chloe Bowman. Lane 7, Caitlin Cottom. And in lane 8, our fill-in, Vida Mordecai. We have the results for event 3, the men 200-meter freestyle. In 8th place, Jet Hatchard. In 7th place, Thomas Chamberlain. 6th place, Benson Mortensen. In 5th place, Brigham Stetcher. In 4th place, Andrew Gray. In 3rd place, Sean Cannon. In 2nd place, Oscar Aspel. And out-touching Oscar by less than a half a second, our state champion, Will Neville. No. That way I know I announced it. Thank you. So coming at the turn here, looks like lane 1 out of all the lanes is making the turn first, 124. She is a solid second and a half ahead of the field. She really is someone with something to prove. We have one more set of results to announce. Event 4, the women 50-meter butterfly. In 8th place, Cameron Tanton. In 7th place, Jane Beardall. In 6th place, Shayla Zolcic. In 5th place, Tavia Stemmons. In 4th place, Vienna Lemon. In 3rd place, Marta Valskolka. In 2nd place, Taylor Huchin. And your state champion for the women 50-meter butterfly from Lehigh Aquatics, Alyssa Soderquist. All right, we're getting some cheering going here, which is fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm getting pointed out that I sometimes say the time, sometimes say the club for the final. We'll get a rhythm here. So for this C final, they are coming down in the last half of the last leg. Lane 4, which would be the seeded fastest swimmer, is slightly ahead of lane 1, who had that early push in the first 100. But again, these races are all about pacing. These 200s, you're pushing your VO2 max, your sprint to the end. So it's going to be lane 4 touching first. That's Simone Turcotti, I believe, if I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please come correct me. Up next will be our B final for the women 200-meter breaststroke. In the water is heat 3, the B final. Lane 1, Evie Mason. Lane 2, Emma McCarlson. Lane 3, Elsie Crowell. Lane 4, JC Nielsen. Lane 5, Lauren Vinnick. Lane 6, Ellie Sinte. Lane 7, Mia Addis. And then lane 8, Austin Brown. All right, so it looks like for our final heat coming up, we are going to have the reigning state champion swimming in lane 4. She had a qualifying time of 2:33.84, which, if my paperwork is correct, would be a state record because I have a state record listed set by the same person, Miss Veronica Black, at 2:34.54 in 2024. That means she is doing something right over these past 2 years. So that is indeed correct. And the swimmers coming into the last third leg of 4. We're trying to see who's in the lead. It's hard to tell from this angle because they're about to make the turn on the opposite end of the pool. So it is a warm evening, but for swimmers, it doesn't quite play much of a role.
Do you want a water?
So we've got some cheering. It was good. We've got some cheering. Lane 4 is in the lead. And that is JC Nielsen. Nielsen is indeed going to touch first with a time of 2:58.06. That is a little bit of improvement this morning. So up next is the A final for the 200-meter breaststroke. Up next we have the A final for the women's 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Hattie Walsh. In lane 2, Nova Summerhays. In lane 3, Layla Turner. In lane 5, Alyssa Gordon. In lane 6, Feiyu Hong. In lane 7, Ksenia Keller. In lane 8, Hale Hansen. And in lane 4, with the fastest qualifying time and current state record holder, Veronica Black. In the water. Fantastic underwaters. Looks like everyone comes up just before the 15-meter mark, which is a good sign, so there's no DQs off the start. Veronica Black, as expected, opening up a slight lead even at the halfway point from the first leg. I mean, her technique and power is hard to argue with. We have results from event 5, the men's 50-meter butterfly. In 8th place, Sean Cannon. 7th place, Chaz Keddington. 6th place, Ethan Brown. 5th place, Beck Johnson. 4th place, Thomas Chamberlain. 3rd place, Richard Smith. 2nd place, Gabe Jones. And in 1st place, with a time of 25:31, Tanner Edwards. So Veronica Black is opening up a body length lead over lane 5, Gordon from Sousa. And I don't know what Veronica Black's split was from this morning. It looks like she's going to make the turn at 1:14.79. So she can do the same thing again. That would break her record, but they always do get a little bit of a better first leg because they're jumping off the blocks. But I got to tell you what, lane 5 Gordon is really trying her best to stick with her. She is giving a nice glide and shoot. So I'm reading here online, Veronica Black has committed to swim for San Diego State University. She currently attends Highland High School. Also in this heat, a rising 13-year-old, Nova Summerhays, just had coming off a fantastic age group state meet where she set some 13 records. She's turning the third leg with a split of 45.72. Holding on to the field, but not quite holding on to Veronica Black, who is just out ahead of everybody, racing herself, which I got to tell you is really hard to do all on its own. Without someone there pushing you and to be able to push yourself, the fastest you can be is a talent in among itself. And she finishes her time with 2:33.84, which oddly enough is the exact same time she swam this morning, which would be a new state record. Fantastic swim. That is an unofficial record, tying herself in this morning. It's 2:33.84. In the water, the D final for the men's 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Dempsey Hodgkinson. Lane 2, Finley Barker. Lane 3, Knight Palmer. Lane 4, Tavian Ulibarri. Lane 5, John Decker. Lane 6, Braden Wilson. Lane 7, Drew Kane. Lane 8, James Zhang. So again, as I said there towards the end, I bet you she couldn't do it if she tried. Again, it's tied her time from this morning, Veronica Black, at 2:33.84. I mean, if you start and stop a stopwatch, it's hard to get it to stop in under 20.2 seconds. Coming out to the 15-meter mark of the second leg, lane 4 and lane 3 are locked in a battle, Ulibarri and Palmer. They definitely aren't just coasting through this race. They have something to prove. So it is just a race between lane 3 and lane 4 right now. They are doing a great job of pushing each other, with lane 4 just hanging on to a slight edge. It is amazing how fast these young men are in the pool. I've often said there should be a regular person lane swimming alongside of all of these swimmers so you can get an idea for how fast they truly are. And they're fast swimmers swimming next to fast swimmers. It's hard to realize how amazing they actually are. If you put me in the water, I would look like a rock compared to these guys. So coming into the wall, it is lane 3, Palmer from UVA, that's going to pull ahead. He paced that really well and just had a little bit more in the tank. Lane 4 touching second, Ulibarri with the 2:43.30. Great race, gentlemen. In the water is your C final for the men 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Zach Stevens. Lane 2, Levi McFarland. Lane 3, Luca Rogers. Lane 4, Andrew Shoup. Lane 5, Christian Patalano. Lane 6, Tucker Krasminski. Lane 7, Riker Tidwell. And in lane 8, Kyle Ingram. So it looks like so far no alternates being used, which is a good sign for the field. At the turn, wow, it looks like Shoup is the only one under 36 in lane 4 with a 35.73. He looks smooth in the water. So the state record for this, for 15-16, is 2:21 flat, set in 2018 by Jordan Tiffany. 17-18 record, 2:19.15 in 2021 by Max Cannon. And the overall senior record, 2:17.07, set way back almost 30 years ago by William Shefchick. It is amazing how some records hold up over time. Of course, in swimming, there is no such thing as a carbon fiber foot shoe that's going to spring you forward more. Got some cheering going on. It's always interesting when these kids are racing. You never know exactly what they're racing for. It's not always that they're racing to get first place in their heat, but always racing the clock. One of the most unique things about the competition sport of swimming, there is no other person between you and the wall trying to stop you from getting there. The only opposition is the water and your brain. So, lane 4 has pulled out. He has the body lead over lane 5. Some outside heat here in lane 8. He's going to get third place. Fairly well decided at this point, but the rest of the field too close to call. So it is lane 4, Shoup, that touches first with a 2:38.86. Second, Patalano, 2:41.42. And third, Ingram, 2:43.28. With the third heat, the B final, getting on the blocks. In the water, the B final. Lane 1, Aaron Jensen. Lane 2, Carter Brown. Lane 3, Matt Moore. Lane 4, Connor Clark. Lane 5, Davis Chase. Lane 6, Daniel Wang. Lane 7, Skylar Maudsley. Lane 8, Samuel Rogers. So the youngest swimmer in this field is Mr. Matt Moore from Lehigh at 15. We have an 18-year-old in lane 4. Connor Clark from Lehigh. Looks like they are on the same team. I always wonder if these guys have bragging rights when it comes to practices, depending on who wins in the meet. And it looks like they definitely want to beat each other, if nothing else, which is always fun. Iron sharpening iron. And we also have lane 7. It looks like he might be slightly ahead coming into the end of the first 100. So it is Clark in lane 4, slightly out touching lane 3. The two boys from Lehigh in the lead, with Maudsley in lane 7 in third place. Thank you. It is a great race. Looks like lane 5, Davis Chase, has some cupping marks on his back, which is always entertaining. Looks like they got attacked by some type of sea animal all up and down the spine on the left and right side, trying to bring blood flow to those muscles and get them loosened up. All right, so coming down last half, last leg of this race, and these boys are fighting it out. Boy, Chase is making a run for it in lane 5. Lane 3, 4, and 5 all are going for it. I gotta tell you, they're giving everything they've got. Oh, Davis Chase, he is running it down. Did he time it right? That is the question. Oh, lane 3 held on, but Chase did catch lane 4, and Clark in touches in second place. Clark in lane 4 touching in third place. What a great race. So, and again, there you go, lane 1 slap in the water. He must have set a time that he liked. He hit fourth place with 2:35.30. Definitely improved from this morning, 4 seconds. Or actually 4 seconds, yeah. It's great for him. Up next is our championship final for the men 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Stockton Rogers. In lane 2, Barrett Judkins. In lane 3, Bridger Sink. In lane 5, Porter Wild. In lane 6, Justin Chamberlain. In lane 7, Wyatt McCoy. In lane 8, Miles Moran. And in lane 4, your top qualifier with a time of 2:26.96, Leo Kai. You know, I think I'm going to wait and announce it during the 4th instead of doing it during the championship heat. Does that make sense? Because it's kind of like competing with all of the, like this, like, right? Does that make sense? I did that in the last one and I felt like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. All right. So coming out in the first heat, one more. All right, so coming in past the first turn, we have, 5, 6 swimmers tied around 32 within 2/100ths of each other. Rogers is bringing up the back of the pack at 34.51, but hopefully he's just pacing it right. Looks like lane 8, Miles Moran, who is swimming out of Colorado Mesa University, is making a charge. He makes a turn, 109.72, just 2/100ths of a second in front of lane 5, Wild from Lehigh. He is making a run for it. He is the 3rd oldest out of 4 swimmers. Had an older brother and older sister both into Colorado Mesa as well, and his younger sister is going to be a senior in high school. Also a fantastic swimmer. What a great swim family. But this race in particular looks like he and Kai from Fish Market are locked in a battle for first, but nobody else is wanting to give it up either. Lane 3, Sink from OA, is going for it, and at the final turn, Kai does touch first, 147.65, ran slightly behind 147.02. The crowd's starting to get into it a little bit. It looks like there's a race between those two, unless somebody else can make a push. I love it when people start cheering. Got some whistling going. Oh man, Miles' face, I wish you could see it right now. He is going for it. He has worked hard all summer, just as all the other boys are, and he deserves a win. Let's go, boys. Timing in this race and when you make your push is critical. And it looks like the winner is Moran from lane 8, bringing some outside heat, 225.38, edging out Sink in lane 3 at second place, just 2/100ths behind. And then Kai does hold on to third, 226.15. Fantastic race, man. Up next is the women's 100-meter backstroke. That was a wonderful race. These boys can barely get out of the water. Miles, I hope he does not pass out on the blocks, because he looks like he gave everything he had in the water. It's always fantastic to see. It's the first thing I look for in a swimmer is what they look like when they get out of the pool. You can always tell when they had something left in the tank, and those boys did not have much. In the water, your D final for the women 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Evie Powers. In lane 2, Eliza Bexfield. In lane 3, Eloise Kasperson. In lane 4, Haley Waters. In lane 5, McKenna Garlick. In lane 6, Leilani Miyamoto. In lane 7, Avery Liu. In lane 8, Victoria LaRoche. Have a 13-year-old swimmer in the water in lane 6, Leilani Miyamoto, making her first appearance at senior state. That is always a nerve-wracking experience, but it looks like she is doing a great job here, wanting to really come home with a strong D final. Also have Eliza Bexfield from Wasatch, who must have just turned 15, because I thought I saw her at age group state this past weekend. But in this heat, it looks like lane 5 and lane 7 are battling to win it out. Avery Liu and McKenna Garlick, and it is indeed Garlick that holds on first place. Liu in second place in lane 7. Up next is our C final. They're making the change out. D finals getting out of the water, C finals getting in, getting the blocks set and the wedges in. And they're off. In the water, the C final for the women 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Annie Nelson. Lane 2, Jandy Cephalo. Lane 3, Addison Baker. Lane 4, Mackenzie Knudsen. Lane 5, Ali Henoese. Lane 6, Cadence Laws. Lane 7, Jane West. Lane 8, Elsie Crowell. All right, so on the turn, it is Laws ahead at 34.04. really swimming a great race. She swam a 112 flat this morning. With swimming, it is so tough to time your efforts, and some of these B finalists probably think they should have been in the A final and maybe not have had a great swim this morning, and you usually tell that comes out at night because they want to prove they should have been in that A final. Laws is edging out lane 5 in Oase from Wasatch Swim Club for first place, it looks like, in this heat, but we'll see. It always comes down to the timing of that touch. And it is Laws in first with a 1:10.68. 0.17 ahead of Oase in lane 5, who comes in second place, and Baker from Fish Market. What a race from her. She is only 14, and she got third place in that race. And Cephalo, 14, also just behind her. Got a feel for those 14-year-olds that just swam age group state last week. I know my daughter took a couple-hour nap this afternoon. Just exhausting. This will be the 4th day of meets, prelims, finals in 5 days for those ladies. A testament to their grit and determination. In the water, the B final for the women 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Berkeley Hansen. In lane 2, Aniston Kennard. In lane 3, June Johnson. Lane 4, Alyssa Soderquist. In lane 5, Jane Beardall. In lane 6, Greta Doretto. In lane 7, Shayla Zolcic. In lane 8, Aobian Bradley. And we also have the results for the women 200-meter breaststroke. In 8th place, Hale Hansen. 7th place, Ksenia Keller. 6th place, Hattie Walsh. 5th place, Peiyu Hong. 4th place, Nova Summerhays. 3rd place, Layla Turner. 2nd place, Alyssa Gordon. And your state champion with a time of 2:33.84, tying her time from this morning in a new state record, Veronica Black. Does that mean she has to swim off with herself for first place? You know? I have seen a 3-way tie, though, before, which is pretty neat to see. All right, we're about to start our championship heat. For the 100 back. Ladies, you may clear the pool. Up next is the championship heat for the women 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Vienna Lemon. In lane 2, Kiana Huggins. In lane 3, Chesney Bonner. In lane 5, Ava Glissmeyer. In lane 6, Santi Hunt. In lane 7, Darcy Smith. In lane 8, Hannah Quinn. And your top qualifier with a time of 1:04.93, Anna Diedrichs.
Go, Santi!
All right, so this should be a great race here for the final. I think it's fascinating that Chesney is at a 1:07. She's just coming off that 200 breaststroke. She won that handily. Let's see how much she has left in the tank. All right, looks like a clean start. See these underwaters come up. Everyone comes up clean before the 15-meter mark, which is great. They are neck and neck. This morning, Anna Diedrichs did swim a 1:04.93, which is well ahead of the field. The record holder for the state is Ryan White, the only Olympian to come from Utah. Her record is 1:01.57, set back in 2017. She also set it when she was 15-16, 1:02.10, 10 years ago in 2016. And it looks like Diedrichs does have the lead with a 31:03 at the turn. Chesney, 32:42, and Glissmeyer, 32:47, close behind. Hunt, also 32:21. This is going to be a tight race. Well, maybe not for first place, but second place definitely tight. First place, Diedrichs still has something left in the tank. It was not a fluke from this morning. She is in the lead by a body length and is going to touch the wall first. unless a shark gets her, which a shark does not. So that is first place for Diedrichs, 103.46. She dropped a solid 2.5 seconds this morning. That is fantastic swim from her. Up next is our D final for the men seniors, 100-meter backstroke. Women got out of the water, and they are some gassed ladies. They are sitting beside the deck. That is, again, a fantastic sight to see. The men have just taken off for the D final. In the water, the D final for the men 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Leo Kai. Lane 2, Bridger Polson. Lane 3, Porter Keller. Lane 4, Wilson Norris. Lane 5, Gavin Miller. Lane 6, Jake Ikemiashuro. Lane 7, Josh Hawkins. Lane 8, Barrett Judkins. All right, so D final is in the water. They're just making the first turn. Looks like lane 5, Miller, has the lead. Just not by much. Lane 3 is holding in there. Those two are below 32. Everyone else is sitting just above 32. A little less certainty with these C and D finals. But what a great swim in the women 100-meter backstroke. 103, just a couple seconds off the record. In this one, Miller does finish first with 104.56, which is almost a second improvement from this morning. He should be happy with that. We have a swimmer in lane 1, Leo Kai, which is still coming into the wall. Looks like he's just kind of cruising in, doing a warm down swim. Amazing thing is, you still get the same number of points. Finishes with a 133.71. Hopefully he has a good laugh about that. Good on him for getting in the pool. All right, so the C final is about to get underway. All right, lane 5 was well out of the water on that start. The C final is in the water. Lane 1, Eddie Hansen. Lane 2, Stockton Rogers. Lane 3, Brian Granado. Lane 4, Alexander Spainhauer. Lane 5, Davis Chase. Lane 6, Justin Tao. Lane 7, Luke Nelson. And in lane 8, Calvin Rom. It is so fun announcing.
Mark, can you announce these people cannot be filming in front of the rope line? Can you hear those people?
As a reminder, please do not stand by the ropes in front of the stands. We need to keep the right of way through for people watching, and also for the spectators behind you. Thank you. The B final for the 100-meter Up next, our championship final for the men 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Benson Mortensen. In lane 2, Jack Hatchard. In lane 3, Andrew Carlisle. In lane 4, Henry Long. In lane 5, Andrew Eliason. In lane 6, Luann Bernard. In lane 7, Brigham Skinner. In lane 8, Donnie Lowe. And your top qualifier with a time of 58.18 in lane 4, Henry Long. Fantastic swim, man. In the water is the B final for the women's 400-meter individual medley. In lane 3, Colette Hall. In lane 4, Autumn Kendall. In lane 5, Lola Hunter. In lane 6, Megan Lennon.
And this whole time, my mic's been muted. Oh my goodness, what a rookie mistake. Mr. Hale, who sang our national anthem, rescued me. So backstroke, like I was just saying, the 100-meter backstroke was just in the water. The men, they were sprinting and powering through the water. It looks like a different sport. The women 400-meter IM, they are also powering through the water, but it is a lot longer race. They're going to be sitting around 5 or 6 minutes. And it is Hunter making the backstroke turn, 157.87. And then Kendall in second place, 159.15. But again, it just looks like a completely different sport. Not better or worse, just different. Those boys were powering through the water. The amount of resistance they hit and the amount of power they have to produce is just amazing. So lane 5 is opening up a little bit of a lead on backstroke, but as it is often said in individual medley, the breaststroke is the make or break leg. Looks like she's doing an open turn, getting to breaststroke with a 3-second lead on second place. But I don't know. Second place does look like a breaststroker. In lane 6, she does have some KT tape on her shoulders, but she is giving it all she has. Lemons from UVA. That is a fascinating thing about breaststroke. The leader, Hunter, looks so smooth in the water and looks like she should be falling behind because she looks so effortless. But in fact, she is swimming just as fast, if not faster, than the rest of the ladies in the water. Breaststroke is fascinating that way. So she makes the turn at 3:30.11 with a split of 48.57. Holding on to that lead. As a matter of fact, opening up a little bit more of a lead. She's about 4.5 seconds ahead now. That smooth breaststroke. All right, so we've got our ladies getting geared up for the championship final behind the blocks. They look like they are all business. So it does look like breaststroke is the deciding leg in this heat. Hunter has it in spades. She is a solid 3 body lengths ahead of the next swimmer. And unless something drastic happens on freestyle, is going to win this heat. So she touches the wall, a good 2-hand touch, 4:19.85 with a leg of 49.74. And it looks like she still has some kick left in that freestyle. It's not going to give her lead up willingly. So I am going to mute my mic for one. Actually, we're going to read some finals results here. We've got some results. Event 7, the men 200-meter breaststroke. In 7th place, Stockton Rogers. In 6th place, Barrett Judkins. In 5th place, Wyatt McCoy. In 4th place, Justin Chamberlain. In 3rd place, Porter Wild. In 2nd place, Leo Kai. And your state champion, in 1st place with a time of 2:25.59, Bridger Sink. That sucks. Oh, sorry on those online. Miles Moran got DQ'd in the breaststroke. I'm not sure why, but it's always disappointing somebody in a championship final to get DQ'd. Just feel sorry for that swimmer. We also have results for event 8, the women 100-meter backstroke. In 8th place, Hannah Quinn. In 7th place, Vienna Lemon. In 6th place, Kiana Huggins. In 5th place, Darcy Smith. In 4th place, Santi Hunt. 3rd place, Chesney Bonner. 2nd place, Ava Glissmeyer. And your state champion for the women's 100-meter backstroke with a time of 1:03.46, Anna Diedrichs. Up next is the championship final for the women 400-meter individual medley. In lane 1, Mia Smith. In lane 2, Vienna Lemon. In lane 3, Layla Turner. In lane 5, Addie Venner. In lane 6, Astrid Parson. In lane 7, Lola Watson. In lane 8, Cassidy Long. And your top qualifier in lane 4 with a time of 5:12.96, Rainey Moran. All right, so we are off. They are in the water for the finals of the women 400-meter individual medley. Moran has a strong butterfly, and she is out to a slight lead at the halfway point. Addie's going to try to stick to her hip. We'll see. They train together on a daily basis, and it is fun to watch them chase each other around the pool. So in this race, we have anywhere from a 14-year-old to a 17-year-old in the water. Anywhere from a 5:43 to a 5:12. Making the first turn, it is indeed Moran with a 32.46 in the lead, followed by Turner in lane 3 with a 32.99. Well, actually, Lemon was in the lead with a 32.27, bringing some outside heat in lane 2. She does have a strong butterfly. So it is Moran and Lemon in the lead here. The field is pretty close after that, with lane 1 and Venner in lane 5 being 3rd and 4th. But again, this is a race of strokes. So we'll see what happens on the backstroke and breaststroke leg. I will say that Moran is a strong breaststroker. Lemon is a strong butterflyer. So it is Lemon in the lead at the turn, Moran in 2nd, Venner coming in 3rd, and those 3 ladies are starting to pull ahead a little bit on backstroke. Lane 1 and lane 6 are holding on behind the top 3. Parson did turn in a solid last leg of that fly at 39 seconds. This is such a grueling race. At each turn, you're feeling pain in different muscles and different energy systems. All right, so Venner did have the fastest leg there, 39.81, followed by Moran with 40.53 and Lemon 41.34. That is going to make this a race. Parson had a 41.05, holding on. Boy, this is a race. It's going to come down to breaststroke and freestyle. Moran and Venner neck and neck. Matter of fact, Venner has taken a slight lead, but Moran's breaststroke is something fierce. Lemon is hoping to get to the wall for that breaststroke leg. She also is solid. Parsons holding on to 4th place in lane 6. They are making the turn at 2:29.75. Venner is in with a leg of 38.33. Moran with that leg of 41.24 made the turn at 2:32.19. It is anyone's race. It's really hard for me not to yell right now. I'm gonna have to mute you for a second. I got to tell you, you did not want to hear that. That was me sounding like a foghorn, embarrassing my daughter to no end. Her and Rainey Moran are battling out for that first spot. Venner touches the wall with a 3:14.01. Moran touches the wall with a 3:14.70. Moran made up a solid 2.5 seconds on that breaststroke leg and is going to probably pull ahead in this last leg. It'll all come down to the freestyle. Lemon touches the wall of 3:19 in 3rd place. I'm going to have to meet you again. All right, so they made the turn. They are neck and neck, 0.2 away from each other. It's all going to come to this freestyle. Rainey did have a faster turn there. We'll see if Venner can make it up in the strokes. They are gutting it out. Lemon is holding on to 3rd place with a 4:08 at the turn. But it is the pull away here between Venner and Moran. It is a great race. Really hard for me not to be biased here. Fun to watch. So hard for me not to cheer. All right, So Venner did have a better leg there, 4:33.27, 34.86 on that split. Moran at a 36.03, turning at 4:34.27. Go, 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 go! They are pulling ahead. And that is a great race. This is just grit and determination. Both swimmers, all these swimmers in the water. What a tough, tough race. 5:01, 5:02, 5:03. 5:04, Nationals time would be 5:05, and she touched the wall 5:06.64 to win it. As long as there's no DQs. Moran pulling in at 5:10.19. That is a PB for Venner. What a race. Coming in third place, Lemon is holding on in lane 2. And she will hold on for second place with a time of 5:22.60. Other swimmers coming in. Parsons coming in, lane 4, in fourth place in lane 6 at 5:25.64. I got to admit, I am sweating. That was intense for me. I can't imagine for these ladies in the water. What a great race. It is nice to see these swimmers hugging each other after races. All right, the C final for the men's 400-meter individual medley. In lane 2, Noah Layton. In lane 3, Chrysander Luris. In lane 4, Aaron Meacham. In lane 5, McKay Simmons. In lane 6, Zach Stevens. All right, so we have the race for the D final in the men's 400 IM. It's a great race.
Dad, you're announcing.
You're live. All right, so they are onto the backstroke leg for the 400 IM. The men, heat 1, your C final. I couldn't resist going over and giving my daughter a hug. Of course, embarrassed her again, but that's okay. All right, so at the turn, looks like it's going to be lane 3, Chrysander Luris in the lead for the C final. Another one of the young gun swimmers at 14. Him and Noah Layton are training partners there at OA, racing against each other in this race. Looking smooth in the water. On backstroke, one of the drills these swimmers do sometimes is put a cup on their forehead. See if they can balance it the length of the pool. Be smooth in the water. He looks pretty smooth today. Has a solid, 4 body length lead over the following swimmers. The rest of the pack gliding together. Luris is going to make the turn at 2:28.08 with a split of 39.34. Also has a strong breaststroke. Followed by Stevens, Simmons, and Meacham locked neck and neck at 2:34 at the turn. Only 2/100ths of a second separating those two. As a matter of fact, today, in the 400 IM for the men, we had a tie for 8th place. Luckily, they did not have to have a swim off. One of the swimmers was 22 and decided to scratch from the event, but man, I think I'd rather flip a coin than swim that again. Which I have seen before. I have also seen a tie.
That was so awesome.
In the.
It was so fun to watch. Congrats to Abby on that.
Thank you. I have seen a tie again in a swim off, and in which case the coaches decided just to do rock, paper, scissors to decide who was going to get the swim in the final. We have the results for the men 100-meter backstroke. In 8th place, Benson Mortensen. In 7th place, Henry Long. In 6th place, Donnie Lowe. In 5th place, Jet Hatchard. In 4th place, Brigham Skinner. In 3rd place, Andrew Eliason. In 2nd place, Andrew Carlisle. And your state champion in the men's 100-meter backstroke with a time of 57.06, Luan Bernard. What happened? Yeah, that is the fascinating thing about these individual medley races. It can come down to the turns, and there are many options for these swimmers in the turns. Loris is holding on to the lead, but the gap was closed there during the breaststroke. And I got to tell you, Simmons is making a run for it in lane 5, but Cassandra is giving it all he has in lane 3. He did get outsplit by just over a second. Oh man, it's going to be a race to the finish. Cassandra needs to breathe out to his left so we can see these swimmers coming. He's breathing to the right so he can't see the middle of the pool. He does not see lane 5, who is trying to steal this race, but I still can't tell who's going to win. Cassandra touching the wall, and it is lane 3. Cassandra Loris holding on by 7/100ths of a second to win that heat over Simons in lane 5, who finishes 2nd place, and then Meacham with a very close 3rd at 5:14.62. And that just tells you how fast those ladies were swimming in the previous race. In the water is your B final for the men 400-meter individual medley. In lane 1, Brian Granado. In lane 2, Cash Caballero Scott. In lane 3, Christian Catalano. In lane 4, Carter Brown. In lane 5, Noah Christensen. In lane 6, Xander George. In lane 7, Wesley Bingham. In lane 8, Franco St. Jour. All right, so we're on the butterfly leg coming to the wall. It is, wow, lane 3 and lane 5 within 4/100ths of a second of each other at 1:08, 55, and 51 respectively. That is Christensen and Padalano. Oh man, but Christensen had a great turn and is opening up a lead on the backstroke. One of the most interesting turns is that back to breast turn. The next switch is coming up. They can do open turns, they can do flip turns, they can do bucket turns, they can do, I don't know, I call it a sidewinder turn, where they kind of flip sideways. Key being, when they come off the wall, their belly button cannot be towards the ceiling. It needs to be towards the bottom of the pool. So that was a great backstroke leg by Christensen. He had swam a 38.43, which is a solid 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, besides St. Jour in 8, which was 39.42, so 1 second behind. And again, he has a great leap when he's pulling with that right arm, connecting that posterior chain in the water. That is fantastic swimming. And then it is lane 3 from Sousa, Padalano, holding on to 2nd place, but he is tight with lane 4 from Haas, Brown. So Christensen is in the lead, 2:26.68 at the turn. He swam 39.74, slightly slower than Brown in lane 4 on that leg. Tight race, but again, it's going to come. Christensen is at least 3 body lengths ahead, so we'll come out of this breaststroke, see if anyone else can make up any of that pace. So we're coming towards the end of night 1 here at the Senior Championships. This is the last event, and the next heat will be our last heat. We have 2 more nights of races, and actually tonight we will have the 200 medley relay, which will be the last event of the night. Always fun to watch those relays, get all the kids cheering. So Christensen made the turn at 3:08.84, a solid 6-second lead ahead of the next swimmer in lane 4, Brown from Hask, his teammate. It is amazing how these swimmers tend to develop in packs, or I guess you could call them schools, because they are like fish in the water. But these 2 boys from Hask are leading the field here. Christensen coming into the wall with a 3:52.08, split of 43.24. And looks to have a good kick on the freestyle. It's going to be hard to catch him. And in second place, Brown is opening up a couple body length lead out of lane 3 from Padalano and Sousa. But it is the top 3 kind of ahead of the field. It's going to take a lot to catch them. So looking ahead at our final seat, we have Emmett Hatchard, the youngest, at 15 in lane 8 from OA. And then we have Brigham Skinner from Cache Valley Marlins in lane 2 at 18. And Gabe Jones, who is formerly of the Hilltoppers out of Colorado, and is back for the summer training with OA in lane 4, the top qualifier for the men. But in this heat, it will be Christensen that pulls out ahead, and first swimmer tonight to break 5 minutes in the 400 IM with a 4:58.68. That is a solid swim. Although the state record in this race is a 4:21, blistering from Stechenia Maslow. That must have been amazing to see. That was just earlier this year. All right, so there's starting to be some cheering here, getting these men geared up. Men, you may exit the pool. Up next is our championship heat for the men 400-meter individual medley. In lane 1, Emmett Hansen. In lane 2, Brigham Skinner. In lane 3, Oscar Askell. In lane 4, Thomas Chamberlain. In lane 6, Boden Olovich. In lane 7, Brody Schvanevelt. In lane 8, Emmett Hatchard. And in the real lane 4, our top qualifier from OA with a time of 4:37.41, Gabe Jones. I said the wrong number, but I said the right name. You heard it though, right? It was like, I said the wrong number. I said 4, but it was All right, so in the lead is Gabe Jones. He does have a very strong butterfly. They look like flying fish going through the water. Again, he was at Hilltoppers, but he is deciding to make a move and go to a different college. I'm not sure where to swim this summer. He's making the turn at 27.59, a very strong leg, almost a second ahead of Chamberlain at 28.52. Olovich is 28.86, who is also a strong butterflyer. It is interesting to watch Olovich swim. He does look up and to the side whenever there's somebody ahead of him to keep an eye. I wonder if it motivates him, but it is Gabe Jones who has a body length lead over Chamberlain. And he's going to make the turn under a minute. He's at 59.72, the only swimmer under a minute in that butterfly leg. We'll see if he can hold on. Next swimmer is Chamberlain at 101.74, and then Olovich at 102.70. Solid legs from those boys. And then the only other one up there is Schvanevelt in lane 7 with a 103.61. All right, so in the backstroke leg, Gabe Jones still is opening up a body length lead over Chamberlain in lane 5. He's holding on, but we'll see how his breaststroke leg is. It always does come down to that breaststroke leg.
Oh my gosh, Dad, your commentary. Go, Emmett! Go!
All right, so we're going to see how these younger swimmers think of my commentary. It looks like Gabe Jones had a wonderful turn back to breast, and he has opened up a body length lead or 2 over Chamberlain. As you might expect, he does have a couple of years on Chamberlain. And he is in the lead. The crowd's starting to get into it here, which is wonderful. All right, so I am back. I've got a surprise visit from one of our 400-meter IM women finalists. So Gabe Jones is opening up a solid lead with his breaststroke. He's got a great height, getting those hips up on that chute. And you can usually tell because there's a ripple of water. It's that second ripple that comes up right behind their heads, and you can tell their pike is just solid. He makes a turn with a split of 40.46, 3:31.77, 4 seconds ahead of second place Chamberlain, who was right there with him with a 40.77. Skinner with a 40.55. Not really much movement on that breaststroke. Gabe still has a solid 2 body length lead over second place Chamberlain, and Chamberlain has dusted the rest of the field, but there is a battle on for third with Askell trying to lead that second wave of swimmers in lane 3. Gabe Jones does make that turn with a split of 32.62. He opened up about a second on Chamberlain. He was 33.56. So it looks like Gabe Jones is going to handily hold on to this. The real question is racing himself. This morning he swam a 4:37.41. It'll be tight to see if he can beat that. Gabe Jones does hold on to lead, win it with a 4:36.41. Chamberlain in second place with a 4:41.90, and Askell in third place with a 4:46.46. Olovich, solid fourth place with 4:48 flat. Hatchard coming in. Looks like he might have just run out of steam, which is very understandable. This is a long day for these gentlemen. Comes in at 8th place with a 5:11.72. All right, thank you. Spectators, as just announced, there's a 10-minute break before the relays. 8 of those minutes will be open for cool down in the competition pool. All right, so that concludes. I'm going to mute my mic for a minute. I'd ask that anybody that realizes my mic is not unmuted when the racing starts to please come and slap me behind on the head so we can give you some commentary for these relays, which proved to be super exciting. We'll start out with the women 200 medley relay in about 10 minutes at 7:30. 1 second off of the nationals time.
Oh my God, wow.
Yeah, so it's right there. Oh, thanks. 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 It was really hard for me not to, because I was like on my mic, you know? I was like, ah! Yeah. I was. Thanks. Yeah, I know. But I think we're getting home.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But Ben will be back tomorrow.
They're getting some, time.
That's great. But if he decides to come tomorrow, Ben will be back.
No, I told him.
I want you to talk to him.
Okay.
Because to this point, I said they're required to come back for Friday. I think we should have
All right. Have results for event 11, the men's 400-meter individual medley. In 8th place, Emmett Hatchard. In 7th place, Brody Schvanevelt. In 6th place, Emmett Hansen. In 5th place, Brigham Skinner. In 4th place, Bodan Olovich. In 3rd place, Oscar Astle. In 2nd place, Thomas Chamberlain. And your men senior champion for the 400-meter individual medley with a time of 4:36.31, Gabe Jones. Oh, thank you. I got to admit, I'm still on a little bit of a high from Addie's race. Thank you. 4 seconds. Thank you. Thank you.
The competition pool is now closed. The competition pool is now closed. Please exit the pool.
All right, so we are about to start here. The swimmers are in the water for heat 1 for the 200-meter medley relay in lane 1. And we're off for heat 1 of the senior 200 medley relay. In lane 1, OAB. Lane 2, Wasatch Swim Club A. In lane 3, OAA. Lane 4, Lehigh U. Lane 5, Wasatch. Lane 6, UVA. Lane 7, Sousa. And lane 8, SDAP. All right, so at the turn, it is tight, but it looks like Wasatch in lane 5 does have about a half-second lead. And again, this is the women's 200 medley relay. Wasatch front fish market in lane 5 is in the lead. Lane 6, UVA, is holding on tight. Everyone else is kind of fighting for third place, but lane 8 is still in it with, looks like Nova Summerhays, the young 13-year-old, holding on steady with that solid breaststroke she has. But Wasatch front fish market with the butterfly has a body length lead over lane 6 UVA when they're starting to fly, and I'm getting splashed. So it is still a fight for first place, and it looks like UVA is making up some ground for that second place. There is some outside heat going on from this angle. I can't quite tell. OAB is pulling up, but Wasatch does touch first, 134.90. Less than a second behind in lane 6. It's going to be a tight race, but a lot to make up. Wasatch is kind of ahead of that field, and they are pulling ahead. The freestyler is steady in the water like a missile. So it is going to be Wasatch front fish market in first place with a time of 2 minutes flat, .84. UVA holding on to second over OAB, who is just 0.6 behind them. What a great race. Emma Staskis there in lane 1, really trying to make a comeback. Swam a 26.66. Wasatch a 25.54. Those two ladies blew out the field on that freestyle leg. In the water, heat 2 of the women 200-meter medley relay. Lane 1, Seacat. Lane 2, Carson Cache Valley Marlins. Lane 3, Lehigh. Lane 4, Wasatch front fish market. Lane 5, UVA. Lane 6, Chat. Lane 7, Haste in lane 8, Life. All right, so that backstroke leg, they are burning and turning. So the breaststroke leg, it is lane 3 who is in the lead on that butterfly. Lehigh pulling ahead and gets in the water first. Looks like Dolphins coming off the blocks, jumping in that water. And it is Lehigh in lane 3. Solid 35.20. Cache Valley was at 35.09, the fastest 2 legs there. Now onto the butterfly leg. And I don't see much change in the positioning. The swimmers in the blocks look like they are just itching to get in that water like a piranha. And it is lane 3 first in the water, Lehigh B. That split was 30.13. Looks like she had the fastest split for Lehigh on the butterfly. And their freestyler is just tearing through the water. It is always tough to make up more than a body length on a 50 freestyle. But it is going to be lane 3 holding on to win. Cache Valley is going to be a solid second place. And it is a toss-up for the rest for third place. Cache trying to hold on in lane 7. Lehigh touches the 207.28. Cache Valley in second with the 209.81. And Wasatch Front Fish Market B in lane 4. Third place is the 27.63. She, in fact, did have the fastest leg on that freestyle in Wasatch Front Fish Market, the 27.63, but just had too much to do to catch up to that first place swimmer. All right, they're making the change out. Swimmers getting out of the water, swimmers jumping in for backstroke, getting those ledges set for heat 3 and the finals. That is heat 3 in the water for the women 200-meter medley relay. In lane 1, Esdat. Lane 2, Kuda. Lane 3, Kayak. Lane 4, Haste. Lane 5, Sousa. Lane 6, Chat. And in lane 7, Salt Lake City Legends. So at the turn, it is lane 2, Kuda in the lead with a split of 32.96. That is blistering, only one under 33. Chat's in the 33.65 in lane 6. So let's see how the breaststroke's looking. Looks like lane 4, Haste, is making a run, pulling into second place. And looks like she's probably going to make the turn in first place. If I was betting, I would say that would be the case. Chat and lane 2, Kuda holding on. It is anybody's race now on the fly leg. Lane 2 in the water first, followed by lane 4, lane 6, lane 7, lane 5, lane 1, and then lane 3. Let's go, ladies, on that butterfly. It is a race. There are again 2 swimmers, lane 2 and 4, who are a little bit ahead of the field, racing for first place. And in this butterfly leg, they're just going all out, trying to get that pike shooting through the water. Often overlooked is the strong pike, not the pole. Oh man, and it looks like they did indeed. Haste did take the lead with the 29.33. A fast leg, made up almost 4 seconds on that butterfly leg, past everybody else, and they are in the lead. It is amazing to watch these medley races and the different strokes and the different speeds and efficiency as they come through the water, but it does not look like anyone's going to catch Haste. They are going to hold on to win this in lane 4 with a time of 2:15.15. Chat coming in second place in lane 6. Sousa third place in lane 5, and Kuda fourth place in lane 2. The state record in this is actually a 157.82, which is just amazing, held by the University of Utah. Wasatch Front Fish Market has a 158.06 for the 17-18s. And then for the 15-16s, also a 204.54. So while these ladies are fast in the water, it is amazing to see what can be done. Final heats jumping in the water. We have 3 teams racing in heat 4 of the finals. For the women 200-meter medley. And then we'll go to the men. In the water, heat 4, the women 200-meter medley relay. In lane 3, WBA. In lane 4, SLC. In lane 5, Cache Valley. It's always a little tough when you only have 3 teams racing in the water. You always like to see a full set of lanes to give these ladies somebody racing on each side of them. But it doesn't look like that's holding them back too much. Cache Valley makes the turn in the lead with a 34.42, followed by Swim Lake City Legends with a 35.96, and then West Valley Aquatics with a 37.27. And Cache Valley is not giving an inch and is perhaps taking a couple of yards or meters in this breaststroke leg. That is a solid leg. I wouldn't be surprised if she's up by a couple of seconds on this leg. Very conservative handoff there. She indeed did split a 34.33 in lane 5 for Cache Valley. West Valley Aquatics touches it with a 40-second split and then a 42. So yeah, Cache Valley made up a solid 6 seconds on that. And they have about a third of a length of a pool lead on the field here. Like a nice conservative handoff. Cache Valley will come away, but I tell you, that freestyler is not taking it easy. She's blistering through the water. You can set a cup on her freestyle head when she's not breathing. She's so smooth in the water. A nice weight. Not to be outdone, West Valley Aquatics in lane 3. She's giving it all she has, and then a little bit behind in lane 4, Swim Lake City. She's doing a great job. Barreling through the water. You know, sometimes I swim and put fins on and I can't even go this fast. It's just amazing what these swimmers must feel powering through the water. These boys are pumped up. We have the championship heat for the men 200-meter individual medley relay. Leading off for Omega A is the 13-year-old Jet Hatchard. And in lane 6, leading off for OA B, I don't know if somebody's attached to it now, but in the lead, more importantly, is lane 5. Chat A had a great start with Hatchard, looks like closely in second, followed by Lehigh in third. It's going to be anybody's race out of those 3 anyway. They are a little bit ahead of the field. It's going to be interesting to see who touches first out of those 3. Coming into the wall with a 26.56 is Chat, 27.08 is OA, and 27.60 is Lehigh. That is a blistering split from those men. The state record for 15-16 is 151.26, 17-18, 144.32, and the senior record, set by the University of Utah, 142.55. The breaststrokers are neck and neck. Chat and OA are battling it out. We're going to see what this handoff is. There are different levels of handoff. So far, it looks clean. They both had a great handoff. And let's see who comes up out of the water first. It looks like OA is a little bit ahead of Chat on that butterfly leg, with Lehigh making up some ground. Solid second place. It is a battle for first, second, and third. Lehigh in lane 2, OA in lane 4, and Chat in lane 5. It's all going to come down. These swimmers are itching to jump into that freestyle leg. It is OA in the water first, followed by Lehigh, and then Chat. It is anybody's race, but I tell you, OA's freestylers. Colehead is out of the water. He is just powering through the water. I do not think anyone's going to catch him. He, as a matter of fact, opened with a body length lead past Lehigh. Lehigh trying not to give away to Chat. Chat is coming up, and it is going to be OA. That freestyle leg is blistering 22.80. Lehigh with it. Well, the scoreboard is wrong. OA did come in with a 22.80, Lehigh with a 23.90, and then Chat behind it 24.99. Looks like somebody stepped on those blocks and accidentally gave lane 7 the lead, but there's no way somebody split at 18. That would be an Olympic record. That was a great race. So exciting. It's almost like everyone needs to take a deep breath and watch Heat 2 now. All right, let's see what Heat 2 can do. Heat 2 can do. Backstrokers are in the water. It is just amazing how powerful that previous heat of men were in the water. Freestyler for OA, head completely out of the water, powering through like a motorboat, planing out of the water. All right, coming into the first turn for Heat 2. Looks like some outside heat. BBS in lane 8, 28.47, followed closely by Estat in lane 5 at a 28.63. These guys are going after it. Always great to be cheered on by your teammates. See the concentration on the men on the blocks. As they spot in their swimmers, they usually make kind of a diamond with their hands. Spot in the center of the wall, jump off. It looks like lane 3 is in the lead, followed closely by lane 2 and lane 5. Lane 3 is Wasatch Front Fish Market. B in the lead. They split. The only one's under a minute, 59.59 after that second leg. And now with this fly leg, looks like lane 3 is holding on, followed closely by lane 5. Matter of fact, lane 5 jumps in the water first, followed by lane 3. So Estat made up, oh man, a second and a half, split of 25.61 on that leg, followed by Wasatch Front Fish Market with 27.09. They are battling for first and second, but I honestly think Estat's going to hold on to this. His freestyle looks solid, while lane 3, Wasatch is trying. There's not much room to get past lane 5, who is in fact going to come in for first place in this heat, Estat, with a split of 25.13, the fastest freestyle split of that heat, followed by 25.30 Wasatch Front Fish Market. All right. So on to our second last heat of the night, heat 3 of 4 on the men 200-meter individual medley. As the swimmers make the switch and get the wedges in the water. All right, the backstrokers are in the water and up before the 15-meter mark with lane 6 a slight edge. Let's see if he keeps pulling away from West Valley Aquatics. As they make their way down to the flags. One of the interesting rule changes on backstroke is now you can be completely submerged after the flags. But I don't think anybody really takes advantage of that. No techniques have been developed yet. Let's see. Lane 6, West Valley Aquatics, 28.05. That was a blistering split. He put 2 seconds on the field. Let's see if West Valley can hold on. He's got to be proud of himself for that leg. But again, that is the interesting thing here. You got one A relay against the B relays, all racing against themselves in the pool at the turn. He does hold on to the lead, but there was a gap closed. And West Valley swim a 35.86, UVA split a 34, Haas Pace split a 33.45 there. So Hayes making a move. And he's within 1/100th of a second of UVA in lane 4. It is a tight race, and it's going to come down to the freestyle. And in the freestyle leg, it is lane 6 coming into the water first. Man, it's been up and down this heat. West Valley Aquatics, 25-13 on that split, made up in those 2 seconds. But then again, now you got lane 4, UVA, barreling ahead on that freestyle and retaking the lead. It is gonna be lane 4, UVA, holding on to the 24-32, made up over 4 seconds on lane 6, who holds on for 2nd place. And then Kuda comes in at 3rd place with a split of 26-30. Boy, that was a fun race, back and forth between those teams. It's just like neck and neck and just retaking leads. That was an exciting race. All right, on to the final heat of the night. Heat 4 of 4, men 200-meter medley relay. See if we can have another battle in the water. In the water, our final heat of the night for the men 200-meter individual medley relay. In lane 2, West Valley Aquatics. In lane 3, Seacat. Lane 4, Kayak. Lane 5, WWD. And in lane 6, Cache Valley Marlins. Cache Valley Marlins. C-A-C-H-E, Cache Valley. Biggest thing I know about Cache Valley is that's where some cheese in Utah comes from. Cache Valley cheese. Pick it up at your local grocery store. All right, coming in on the breaststroke leg, Cache Valley is indeed in the lead, Cache Valley A. Neck and neck is Cache lane 3, 4, and 5, Seacat, Kayak, and WWD. Kind of threw me off because it looked like lane 5 and lane 4 and lane 6 look like they have the same caps on, but they're 2 different teams. They're just so similar. Their caps are yellow with a marlin on it. I don't know. From here it looks like the same team, but it's not. So Cache Valley A has definitely opened up a lead here. You have lane 3, 4, and 5 within a second of each other, battling for 2nd place. Cache Valley already makes the turn, 129.04, 26.89 split. Seacat did say that was a 21.83 split on the board, but I do not think the board is correct. Well, it might have been. But either way, Cache Valley Marlins are going to hang on. Yeah, that was not correct. It says Seacat won. Somebody is stepping on the touchpad. So it's going to be lane 6 holding on for 1st place. Cache Valley Marlins with a split of 154.40. Seacat did not swim a 129.18 because that would be a state record by 20 seconds and probably a world record, a universe record. Did not happen. So, do not know who got 2nd place. Thank you. That concludes the first night of the finals for the 2026 Senior Utah Swim Championships.